Got off to a slow start tonight. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. So we got off to a slow start tonight, but I was thrilled to see us find our rhythm, get back into the game. And then really I thought we played pretty good basketball from that point on up to the fourth quarter when, it's nice to get some of those guys some minutes, but, with the shortened training camp and it's a group of guys who haven't played a lot together, it wasn't very pretty out there in the fourth, but with the minutes played by those guys in that first three, I thought we did some really nice things. It was good to get Marvin out there for a little bit. It was good to get Hassan out there, and now obviously we have to work on our flow and chemistry with those people out there. Kyle Guy was really good again tonight. I thought De'Aaron was big time, just how he was, competing all over the floor and kind of leading the group. I thought Buddy was very solid again on both ends of the court. So a lot of positives to take away from that.
Sorry, question, James.
Hey, Luke, how are you?
Good, James. Good.
Kyle seems to be gaining confidence every time we've seen him on the court here in preseason. Is this a preseason thing, or is it something where you can see maybe him stealing a little bit of time in the regular season as things go on?
Well, what he's doing is he's building confidence in his teammates and his coaches as far as trusting him. And, I think that's why it's great. The NBA has gotten to this place now where you have two ways and you have a G League system. So maybe someone like Kyle, who physically isn't ready last year, can spend a year really getting a feel for it. And, I think our development staff and our G League team did a really nice job of putting him in places. And then he obviously has continued to work and got stronger. And, he's somebody that we trust and his teammates trust him. Now as far as the regular season is concerned, if we're fully healthy, there's probably not a lot of minutes every night for him. But if we're having an off night or guys are out, and he's somebody that we can throw in there and count on.
Hey, Luke, I just was curious, obviously last season defense was something that you really wanted to focus on and improving as a whole team. And Buddy Hield is one of those individuals that was kind of called out quite often for his defense. But it seems to me like this preseason that there's been a renewed focus in him as an individual. What are you seeing with him from a defensive perspective?
Yeah, I couldn't be happier with his defensive alertness, the energy he's been using on that end of the floor so far since we gotten back together. So he's been much more consistent. He's been locked into the game planning. So very, very happy with how he's playing right now.
Sean Cunningham.
Hey, Luke. Was that about the weirdest game winner that you've experienced, considering the arena was kind of empty and you had some fan noise come, or some, piped in noise? Just what was your takeaway just from the environment?
Well, it's always good to win. There was cardboard cutouts, so we had some fans in there. I was glad that he went for three so that we, a 2-point overtime. I don't know how much more of that basketball towards the end there I could have taken, but I was happy to see Kyle make that. And I think anyone that knows Kyle, even going back to his college days, knows that he likes the big moment. And, he's hit shots like that in practice as far as game winners, step backs, like hard shots. So it was good to see him knock it down. But I wasn't surprised that he made it at all. But yeah, it's definitely, it's strange in there. You get crowd noise, but there's not real people, and just something that every team is having to get used to.
Marshall Harris.
Hey, Luke, you talked a little bit before the game about kind of your expectations for Marvin Bagley. What did you see specifically in terms of what you liked or didn't like, or how you felt about the way he played tonight? And is that going to be a growing thing, or is the minutes restriction going to stay for the next game as well?
Well, we'll talk. If it goes up, it won't go up much. Those are conversations I have with the medical staff as far as what his just where they feel he's safe to play at. He hasn't played basketball now since before the training camp started, really. So that we just want to make sure that we keep him healthy for obvious reasons. And I was just happy he was out there on the court tonight. A lot of times the offense, we got a little bogged down, but he still did some really nice things. He showed, what he's, some of those offensive rebounds and those putbacks. And once, we get familiar and get him more reps within the flow of the system, I think obviously it'll get better and better. But it was great to see him out there. It was great to have Hassan out there, changing shots at the rim and really kind of, anchoring down the defense in the minutes he played.
Jason Jones.
Okay. Hey, Luke.
Jason.
Just following up on Hassan, just what are the biggest things that changed for you defensively when he's down there and intimidating guys in the paint and doing what he does with the block shots?
Yeah, well, he's tough to make shots over. He just is. He's huge and he has a good feel. He's got good timing, a good understanding. Of how to protect the rim and make defenses take the type of shots we want them to take. And even if you get a clean look over him, it's, he's still in the back of your head. So I thought he did a really nice job out there. And, there's more complex defensive schemes we can get to when we actually have, some time as far as putting him in a deep drop and teaching the guards about how that changes their coverage and kind of funneling everything to him. But for not right now, it's still pretty much the basic package that we're working with. But yeah, it's, the first half, I thought outside that first stretch, our defense was pretty darn good as far as competing, being locked in together, moving, helping each other, not fouling. And then the second half, it kind of started to slip away a little bit.
Just a few more, Jason Anderson.
Hey, Luke, real quickly on Hassan, before I ask you a different question, if that's okay, anything about his neck? It looked like he had hurt himself a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't got an update from the trainer. He was smiling and laughing after the game, so I'm assuming he's fine. But he did, he got his head hit on that collision under the rim there.
Okay, and I wanted to ask you about the 3-point shooting. You guys ended up, well, I guess it's 26 tonight. Is that so? I don't know. I know that's been kind of a focus these last few games with you guys attempting close to 50 in the first two. What'd you think about the threes you were getting?
26.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm looking at the wrong column. You ended up with 42, which is what I was thinking at first. So clearly it looks like we're going to see some pretty big numbers out of you guys in terms of those 3-point attempts, right?
Yeah. Well, and Jason, we had 22, 23 turnovers tonight, so if we can get that number down, we had 10 turnovers in the first quarter. We had 1 in the second, right? So if we can get that number down to where we want it, that's going to be an extra, 7, 8 shots, whether they're 2s or 3s, I don't know, but those numbers will be even higher. And again, it's not about shooting 42, 45, 50 of them. It's about taking good ones and continuing to build and understand what good 3-pointers are to us. And again, tonight we had some that I was very pleased with, and we had some that we'll show on an edit as far as the type of threes we don't want to take.
Matt George.
Luke, speaking to those turnovers, in the first 5 or so minutes, Rashawn Holmes started the game with, I think, 3 or 4 turnovers. It looked like the emphasis was trying to run the ball through him in the high post and around the top of the key. Was that just a focus for tonight to work on? Is that something you envision doing more with Rashawn and Bagley, is potentially sharing the floor together?
Yeah, it's something we've been working on through training camp. Is we're looking to get out fast and then get the ball moving side to side if we don't have anything. He had some uncharacteristic turnovers tonight, but I think part of it too was that the flow to start the game was just a little different. Our spacing was a little different. Some of the stuff we've been naturally getting into, we just haven't had the players that started tonight on the court together. Marvin's only day of practice was Monday, and Monday was pretty much a shots and recovery day for the starters. So, we had Marvin doing that with the, some of the second group and some other guys in 4-on-4, but just needs time and reps, and it'll continue to get, continue to clean itself up.
All right, last one, Tony Harton.
Yeah, Coach, getting back to Kyle Guy, it says a lot about the G League. It looks like, he's definitely been working on his game in the off season. But can you comment, on, his time, developing in the G League and, getting the opportunity to shine when the time is to shine?
Well, that, you got to give him personal credit for that. I give our G League and our development staff credit for working with him. But as far as being ready for the moment, that I think that is who Kyle Guy is. It seems that, that's who he was in college. I don't know his high school career, but he likes the moment, and he's a tough player. He's a smart player. His teammates love him, and it's great to see him these last two games kind of start to play with that confidence and aggressiveness that he'll need to play with to succeed at this level.